The Women's Basketball Hall of Fame is one step closer to shining like a new basketball. As the weather has started to cooperate, workers have been able to finish repainting that giant basketball that is part of the Knoxville skyline. The rim is now in the works, and in a few days, fresh rope will be added to complete the net. You can read much more about the changes underway inside the Hall of Fame at WBIR.com.